Hey there, Vampire Logan here. I am here to play Avatar Legends Noir. Uh, we are without most of our players right now, so we have a little bit of a solo adventure. Gonna go for Atka. And last session we had the party kind of encounter or sneak onto the back of a freighter that was suspected to have carried off some of the missing persons and people thought to be dead. They found some records in the office and also investigated the harbor master's office and got some corresponding records to see that the ship had reported to go to uh, regular Fire Nation City, but the actual records inside the ship showed that it went to a place called Fire Skull Island. And the players then, after that, Atka had to leave and go to something else, and the other characters, minus Mr. Brandoon, who was off training with his master, had gone off to investigate another side quest, which was the disappearance of a librarian. And so that one was found to be possibly taken by this ship as well. And so the person who had hired the detective agency to find that missing persons, the librarian, was um, able to had been still paying another agency to look into it, but he had a feeling they were kind of giving him the runaround, and so he decided to stop paying them and start paying you guys in your pay your detective agency again because you were back and you were going to help him, and so the others brought back some money from that, and we're gonna just start there with them. Uh, the other characters are going off to do something else, some more investigation into that, and Atka has taken the money and is going to go do something else with it. And the reported amount of the money was enough to pay for at least a month's worth of food and bills. So, but I think Atka might have another idea. If you want to go ahead.
So, basically, uh, I take the money and I am going to go and get our karaoke speakeasy started.
Okay.
I want to get I go to an antique shop that I know that basically more of a thrift shop because I don't have much money, but I know how to be thrifty and make everything look kind of antique and I put it up. I get stuff, so I get all these like sconces for the wall that are like lit in green, so it looks very 1920s Art Deco-y. I hire a handyman and use Screech to
Skeeter.
Skeeter to um oh put up some decor that's all Art Deco and some chandeliers and some old like circle tables. So basically, it's kind of like when you walk into uh, the bar that you would see that the old wise men and mafia used to and see old, kroners singing and jazz playing on stages. But instead, it'll be some guest singers, and karaoke as well, so people can get up and sing. Um, so they'll have the round tables that have sconces on them, and there'll be some nice menus at each. that are set up on the tables that have the list of songs that you can sing or request. And then we have an old bar, and the bar looks like something that you would see in New Orleans, old type, old type wood. Actually, it would be like a bar you would see in old Ireland. The old
Okay.
wood, nice worn in rubbed wood, with like a whole bar where you would see the the barmen that have the bands around their shirts, and and the paperboy caps that would be serving things like absinthe and
Okay,
drinks.
so the amount of money that you got is probably not enough to get all of that stuff, but what you found when you were down in the basement is that you already had the round tables, you already
Hmm.
had lighting and stuff like that in there. The bar is a little more plain than you wanted, but you could add on to it later. Hiring people might not be able to be done right away, but the one thing that you could do with the money is that you had a tip um, from Bei Fong that a prohibition is going to be happening very soon and be announced by the government. So before everyone realizes that alcohol will be banned, you could go out and buy it at the regular price and knowing that it's going to go up really fast. And you might even be able to negotiate a deal being as persuasive as you are.
Okay, so is my journey going? So I'm just gonna go and buy some alcohol.
Okay. All right. So you head out from the detective agency, and you take your bike, I guess then, or I guess you'll need the truck because you'll need to put the stuff in the back.
No, no, no. I go make the deal, and then I get Skeeter to go and pick up the stuff. He can
Okay.
follow me in his vehicle, in his van, to
Okay.
pick up the stuff afterwards.
All right.
Plus, if I
Skeeter.
look too eager, then they're gonna just say, "Well, she really wants the stuff," so I should just go as a seller and say, "Then my man will come pick it up."
Okay.
I mean, not my man, but my
My
employee.
man, not Skeeter. Okay. So you head out. So is he gonna follow behind and then come by later, or is he just gonna you gonna come back and tell him to go get it?
I'm gonna tell him to go get it. I want some space instead of being with a crowd of people.
Some space from Skeeter. Oh, okay. All right.
I really
Okay.
like his voice. It sounds like something like not into it.
He's from a remote place in the Earth Nation.
Yeah, the river benders.
Yeah, the river. Down by the river. All right. Oh, hey, Zarelia. Welcome to the channel. We're just one person tonight, so we're doing a solo adventure. Okay, so you arrive at the local. Are you gonna try and get fancy stuff or just bulk kind of stuff?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, I want absinthe for sure.
For sure. Okay.
Well, you
So
know that I
that's
know
gonna
how
be a
to make
fancy.
it.
That's gonna be a fancy shop.
No, but I know how to make it. So why aren't I getting like jars and equipment? Because absinthe, the base of absinthe would be wormwood and vodka. So why aren't I getting the bases to make some of my own? And like same with gin. I mean, you get fancy gin that's all aromatic, or I could get the gin and herbs from Chinatown
Right.
and be stewing it myself to make something interesting that makes people want to come because I have something that no one else has. It has special flavors. And I'm sure
Okay.
my new, is it the Chen family with their cooking skills would be glad to help me with a back room where I store jars of alcohol and basically start
Yep.
making some of my own stuff.
They've
So
already been cleaning up the room and setting up tables and stuff. They said they were gonna if you wanted they would work for you and run the kitchen and if you and one of them would also tend bar if you wanted them to or if you had a
great. So
different.
basically what I'm doing is picking up supplies. So I don't have to go and buy fancy alcohol. I can make it.
Okay. So your character just what in your backstory has you um having knowledge of that, busting people for things like that, or what was
Well,
it that?
first of all, I you have to remember that one of my skills is I'm a waterbender, which means
Right. Okay.
I can do like swirl the waters and help everything drain and all of that. So I have some skills when it comes to that sort of thing. About herbs and stuff, I'm also a healer, and I mean Katara is my master.
Okay.
So I mean she's taught me a lot about healing herbs and things I could do that could maybe I know I've learned from my master things like I can make tinctures to help people tell the truth, and tinctures to help heal people, tinctures make people feel uncomfortable. Depending on who comes into my karaoke bar, I might want to serve them a special drink.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so you head out. So you're just basically going to a regular store that serves basic liquors and stuff like that. You talk to someone there. Um, do you want to role play that, or you just want to make a roll?
Why don't I make a roll and then I'll go get herbs.
Okay, so this will be.
I mean, I'm just
Um,
going to the store buying alcohol. I don't know why I need to roll for that.
pardon me. I'm making a
Go
roll
ahead.
to see how good of a deal you get.
Oh, okay.
So you can decide how you want to
I can't use my influence or my furrowed brow.
badge. Did you take Furrowed Brow, or did you take did you buy two skill level ups or
Oh,
stat level ups?
I guess I leveled up.
Um, if I'll let you kind of pick which one you think makes the most sense. Um, you already have a two in focus, right? So focus could be using the move, using your skills and training to sort
Mm-hmm.
of either intimidate or persuade someone with your kind of um, authority.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily your badge of authority, but more your well, yeah, I guess you could use that to kind of sway people to give you a better deal.
Can I make deals with some of the people in the underworld and then with a little bit of quid pro quo that later on and I have certain connections because of certain deals I can make?
Yep, that's how you can apply it. So do you want to
Maybe
use?
I can trade some of my pictures that I'm going to make with it. So I'll get the alcohol for a cheaper price, but then trade back some of the alcohol made into one of my specialty items.
Okay, so I would say you could either use harmony or focus for that, if that's the way you're gonna go. So your
So
focus was plus
harmony
two.
I'm a zero, so focus on a two, so it'd make more sense to
Okay,
use focus.
so make a roll 2d6 and add plus two,
I got a six and a two, so that's six,
eight,
seven, eight plus
and
two
plus two
is
is
10.
10. So that is a better success. So you get a really good deal, and they decide to make a relationship with you to produce to trade things back and forth, and your special tinctures and stuff. They'll sell them as well.
What's the name of the place? Alcohol is our us, or is it like a little black market thing that I now have a contact with?
I'm gonna say you went to an up and up place to because they don't know it's gonna be a prohibition yet. So we'll call it um, let's just say we'll call it Republic City Liquors, I guess. Or do you have a better name you want to call it? This would be a thing that you could have future dealings with. So maybe you want to have a name like I don't know. Let me look at my list of bar names here.
Let's call it the Dragon Water.
The what?
Dragon Water.
Dragon Water. Okay, that sounds
Mhm.
good. All right, so you make a deal with Dragon Water, and they will sell your other wares as well. Okay, so
Great.
you get an order. So how much of the money do you want to spend on getting this, knowing that it will come back with some multiplier when the prohibition happens?
Um, well, I need enough money to buy herbs, so
So like 80% or 50%?
say 60%.
Okay, 60% of the money. It's gone to. Just gonna make a note so I remember. Okay, Atka. Good deal.
What are you trying to figure out?
So you said 60%?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the guy's name. We'll say the client. Okay, so you use 60% of the money, and then where are you going next?
To Chinatown to get the herbs.
Okay. So this might require you to make an investigation check or what would that be for? To find a good place to get the herbs from. You would already know some about this, so I'll give you an extra +1 on the roll. This would be you can either do an assess the situation or rely on your skills and training. Skills and training is focus. Assess the situation is creativity. So probably the skills and training.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be a +3. Roll 2d6 +3.
Oh, I got a 7. Plus 3 is 10.
Okay, so you again find a really good place. Uh, you find an alchemy shop. And how much of the remaining money do you spend there, or of the total, I guess?
Um,
Another 20%, and then 20% maybe on decorations or something.
sure.
Okay, 20%.
I thought maybe I would have my Fluffy, my spirit animal, go into the spirit world and investigate whether they could see if my gran is there to
Oh,
talk to if we assume that she is no longer with us. Or Mr. Chen isn't with us, so maybe we could find Mr. Chen to talk to get more information.
Except he was stuck, unable to enter the spirit world, so that's kind of his problem. But maybe he could talk to another spirit creature and get them to look for him. That could be done. Do you want to go with him or send him off to do that?
Um, let's go to the spirit world.
Okay. There is a spirit gate, I believe, in the city. And I'm not sure how that works, but let's just assume it's a place that anybody can go to and enter the spirit world. Or maybe they're just like guarded by city guards, but they check you beforehand and you have your badge of authority to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, and so you enter the spirit gate, and so you're in a physical body in the spirit world, and so is your bunny, but he can talk to the other spirits. So
Okay.
you tell him to. What do you tell him?
All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell Fluffy to communicate with some of the spirits in this other world and to see if to find any information about my gran or Mr. Chan, who we think is, well, I think we found out he may be alive. Didn't we?
Yeah, your information right now says that he is probably alive and was taken.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I want to ask the spirit world to see if my gran is might be alive, whether they've seen her, and if they haven't seen her, then maybe that means I have more hope to try and find her.
Okay, so
And if they have any information to give me a clue on where she might be hiding, because she should be able to reach out to the spirit world as well. Maybe there's a message there for my gran.
okay, I will this one will be a harmony roll. So that's probably just a straight roll for you.
Okay. Harmony? Yeah, and that's 0. I got a 9, 5, and a 4.
A 9? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes a little while, but your spirit bunny flies out into the spirit world and kind of swirls around and meets some other spirits, and eventually comes back with a kind of a long kind of tube shaped spirit who has like a little happy face on its front, and it has kind of waving arms like this.
Okay.
Sometimes you see them outside of used car dealerships.
Mhm. In like green or blue or red.
Yes. And this spirit um, is um, able to speak. And so it says, This this bunny tells me you're looking for someone.
Um, yes, yeah, I'm looking for my gran.
What is her spirit like? What was she
Um,
all about?
what was she all about?
Yeah, your spirit self is different than your physical appearance. So it'll be like a representation of what you it's like your best self basically.
What's the question?
So what was she like?
Oh, well, she was a loving, wonderful person who was really on a mission to help other people. So that's why she became a detective. So she would help people, and she was like a James Bond of the underground. She knew people in the wrong places and the right places, and she would always come to the rescue of everyone. So much so that I barely saw her because she was busy helping people. But when I saw her, she was so gracious and wonderful, and she just was so smart. She had so much ability, and I really wanted to uh, work with her at her detective agency. I actually came to tell her that when I realized there was no one at the detective agency and she had gone missing. So I'm wondering what happened to her, and I'm trying to find clues. And I need direction. If she is in the spirit world, I know that that's bad news. But if she's not, then maybe there's some clue that she's reached out to hide in the spirit world in hopes that I'll be able to know where to go next.
Hmm. All right. I get a sense from you, and it says may, and then it reaches out one of its wavy arms, and it says, "May I?" And it goes to touch your head.
Um, sure, but is it going to be touching like this?
No, it sticks onto your head. The arm part waves, but the hand part doesn't. And you feel a sensation of bringing up all your memories of your grandmother, and the
Mhm.
strong image that you just portrayed comes to the fore, and you get a image of a shining version of her, and it says, "Ah, I have not seen this person in the near spirit world anywhere near this city."
Oh, that's a big relief.
And I will ask the other spirits if they have, but I suspect that she has not come here. This is a strong spirit, and we would have noticed. And then you see an old man, balding with a white beard, just wandering by, and he sort of is waving to the other spirits. Hi there, how are you doing? And the spirit looks over and says, "Ah, that is Ira. They're Iro." And
That's Ira.
yes,
Oh my goodness.
he would know. Let me just ask him. And he waves him over with his wavy arm. And goes, "Oh, yes. What can I do for you?"
Well, first, I would love to have some jasmine tea with you.
"Oh, I love tea. Here, well, it's spirit tea, but I'm sure that will be acceptable.
Well,
I do miss real tea."
I love tea too. I can never get enough of it, really.
Okay,
Well, tea's
so
me because I drink all day long.
he sets a pot on a fire that appears beside him, and
We live in a world of coffee culture now, and I don't get it. I would do tea all the time.
yes, I have heard that from one of my students. I have students who come here to visit me now, but yes, his name is Edris.
Oh, he's with you right now?
Not at the moment. He was on some mission, I heard.
Oh, but he trains with you?
Yes.
Amazing. How do you become a trainer to learn from you?
Well, I only know he's a firebender, and I teach him firebending, but also wisdom. So anyone can learn wisdom.
I would love to learn wisdom from you because you're legendary.
And he looks you up and down. He goes, "I think you are already strong in this area."
Oh, well, I mean, compliments will get you everywhere, but you can always learn more. So, what can I do to honor my gran?
So he pours an imaginary glass appears, and he pours the spirit tea into it and offers it to you. And when you take it, it sort of floats above your hand. It doesn't really touch your hand. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
drink it, it's like drinking air, but you kind of get the feeling like you were drinking tea. So it has you feel the warmth, but you don't feel the liquid go down your throat. So it's like a remembrance of having tea. Let me just hang on a sec here. And so he gives you that, and then he says, "So you were this." The spirit sort of whispers in his ear, tells him what you're looking for. He goes, "Oh, you're looking for someone." And so he touches the spirit, and the spirit passes on the glow that he got from you over to him. And he goes,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, no, I have not seen this person here. And I know most of the people of my age that are here. We tend to get along and have tea together often. And I have not seen someone like that."
Okay. Well, that's really good. What would you suggest? Do you have any advice for me on where do you think I should look, or is there a way to feel her energy in the world to know what to do?
Do you have any of the arts about
Yeah,
you?
I'm a waterbender.
Ah, what I
That's why
have
I love
learned,
tea.
what I have learned is that waterbenders tend to be able to feel the flow of things and move around obstacles very easily. I think the way will come to you, and you will see it. You just need to be aware when it appears and follow it. Follow your heart. It will lead you in the right direction.
Okay, well, I have something else to ask you.
Absolutely.
As a waterbender, what is the firebender's weakness from me? If I were to
Hmm.
fight another um, someone who's a firebender, what can I do to
That would depend on the person, I believe. If you can
mm,
assess what their main flaw is, you can use it to your advantage. Such as my my ward for the longest time, Zuko, had a problem with his pride and his anger, and others were able to manipulate that against him often until he conquered that. So if you find someone and you see how they comport themselves, you may find that you can use that weakness against them. If they seem angry, focus on fanning the flames of that anger. If they seem calm but proud, perhaps injure their pride with some kind of prank or something. uh, yes, just find out what before you encounter someone in need to use your power. Find out who they are and what they are about. You may even find that you do not even need to defeat them. You can always find others to give you help, and if not, running away is often an option. He laughs. But who specifically is your enemy?
whoever took my grand is my enemy?
Ah, was this someone from the Fire Nation?
I don't know. I know nothing. All I know is she's just disappeared, and that's why I
You
don't know
did
what to do.
You did know that that ship, the freighter, was a Fire Nation freighter.
But I don't know the fact of my grand.
Yeah, you don't.
Do I?
Yes. Well, you know,
Alright.
if you follow the path, it will lead you to where you need to go. If you feel like you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing, try something else. It's seek the answers inside yourself first before you seek outside.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much for your help.
Okay, he finishes his tea.
I can just smell the faint aroma of jasmine. Probably why I like the tea so much, because I love that smell.
Yes. As do I.
Well, you can come visit me in the real world. Just send a spirit animal to come visit my spirit animal if you ever have messages or need to talk to me again.
Yes, interesting creature, this one. He seems to be trapped.
Yeah, do you have any advice on how I can untrap my creature?
And he beckons your bunny to come towards him, and the bunny kind of looks at him suspiciously. Do you want to push him forward?
I'll pet my bunny to calm him and make him feel, assured, reassured.
Okay. Then he cautiously wiggles his nose at him and sort of steps forward. And Iroh pets the bunny and then picks him up and sort of does something with his hand that it's not a fire, but it's like a little static charge, and the bunny's hair kind of puffs up a little bit, and he goes, I cannot see anything easy to fix here, but it is possible that a combination of powers and certain specific techniques might be able to free this soul. But it is risky. This is still a living creature, and so anything that you do must be very careful, and must be done by a very experienced bender. How long have you been learning the water bending?
Well, I think I knew I was a waterbender as a small child, so now I'm in my early 20s, so I would say about 12 years. But I
And
only started to get a master in the last year. But
yes, definitely some more training would help. And you are focused in the healing arts?
I wasn't, but now I have a new trainer. Her name is Katara. You might know her.
Ah, she is a very experienced waterbender. And especially by now, she must be quite the master. I have not seen her in some time. Perhaps I
Oh,
should visit her.
yeah, well, she's very busy. She's busy training and healing, and I actually don't really know a lot of healing yet. She was just starting to train me in it.
Ah, yes. Well, you are in good hands then to learn what you need to learn.
Well, excellent. I will tell her that you say hello.
Ah, thank you. It is good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. So, wait, who do I need to find to help release my bunny?
You would probably need a master of each of the elements.
What, you mean I need to find an avatar or I need to find
If
a
If you could talk to the Avatar, that might help. I
Have you
hear
seen
that
him?
this. Huh?
Have you seen him lately?
You mean
Hanging here,
you
hanging
mean
out with you in the spirit world.
you mean Korra? Oh, he means a living person.
Oh, okay. Is Cora alive in our world?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, Avatar Korra is quite busy. But she is becoming more knowledgeable of the spirit world, so she might be able to help. But again,
okay.
that's that's going to be a tough one to wrangle.
Why is that?
Well, from what I know of her, she is a bit of a headstrong girl, if you um, must know, and she still needs some mastering of her emotions and abilities, but she's getting there.
I see. Okay, well then I know that's something that I can do. So maybe I should go and look for her. All right, so I'll find her in Republican City somewhere, I think.
You can go do that now.
Sure.
Hey, where would you go to find her?
Hmm. Um, where would I
You
go?
This is about 5 years after the first season, I think, so I'm not really sure if she was still in the city at that
Well, the first
point.
season she was still in the city, and then she went on a quest down to the water
To the Southern
tribe,
Water Tribe. Yeah.
and she was there for a while, and then I think she came back to the city.
Yeah,
So,
I think she was. Okay, well, she probably still would be in touch with her trainer there, which would be Tenson, and you had already arranged some kind of meeting at some point with Tenson from um Lin Beifong.
mhm.
So maybe that meeting could be find out more information.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Let's just say it is um that's something you can do right now.
Yeah.
And will you head over to the island of the airbenders there? And so you can use your badge of authority to get permission to go over there, and you um, arrive at the island across. I guess you could waterbend away across there, or just take a boat or something. And you arrive. I think wasn't Brandon's character actually training with him?
With
He
who?
is Tenson his master. I think it
Yes,
was right.
he. Yes, I think he was gonna. Well, tense. Well, isn't it weird? Because he's isn't he? No, he was fire becoming air. So I think,
He was from
I
the
think
Fire
he was
Nation, but he was
going
an
to.
airbender that had
Right. So I guess you could say
come from the.
Tenson was his master,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Okay, so you arrive there, and you find Tenson training with Haku as you arrive, and they're up on that in that area with all the spinning doors that
Mhm.
Korra wrecked.
Oh
They've been
yes.
repaired since then. Um, so he's training with them right now. And you walk up, uh, and Haku sees you and goes, "Hey." And do you wait? Do you ask the question or do you wait until they're done?
So wait, I'm there. I'm with Tenzin to ask where Korra is.
Yeah, because he had trained her previously, and you know he's her uncle, right? Isn't he? Uncle or somehow a relative?
No, Korra is the next avatar, and because Tenzin is part of, I guess, linked with Aang, he was to take. She was learning, I guess, all the elements, and he was air, so he came down and picked her up from the to, I
Oh,
guess,
she was from
train
the water
her
tribe
in
though, right?
air.
She
Yeah,
was
she's
from the
water.
northern water tribe.
Yeah. So I think he was gonna take. He basically picked her up to train her in air.
And were you from the northern water tribe too?
Well, I was gonna say I'm from the Southern Water Tribe.
Okay,
Again, that would also why I would be with
more involved with spirits. Yeah.
and with Katara, who's from the Southern.
Oh, I thought she was from the northern.
No, they will go to the north, and that's when she meets the other airbend or the other waterbender for the first time. She's from the south.
Oh, I thought it was the north was the ones where Katara was from, and the south was the ones that were doing the spirit stuff. 'Cause she went to train with that guy who was he north or south? I can't remember.
She
Anyway,
went there to try and find a master, yeah, and then
yeah,
realized that she was already a master. But then they took her. She learned some healing.
yeah, I can't remember which one it was. So whichever one it was,
Didn't know you could heal
yeah.
there. But she's south, and they went to the north, and that's where they had the big battle.
Okay. So yeah. So anyway, he is. Um. So he's busy training, but after he's finished, he comes over. He says, "So you would know him then, I guess, right? Or not?
Oh,
You and
well,
Haku have been friends for a little while, so you probably would have met him at some point.
if we've been friends for a while,
And you know Lin Bei Fong too, so you would have
of
probably
course.
met him in your job.
She's like my great aunt.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, "Ah, Atka, what can I do for you?"
I was wondering if you know where Cora is.
Last I heard, she was on some mission in the in the Fire Nation Islands.
Fire Nation Islands.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Fire Nation is a collection of islands.
Um. Okay. Do you know what island she went to? Which one?
I don't know what they're called, so I'll assume he knows and he says one of them.
Great. Do you think I could get on one of those airships? And
Do they
go
have
and
airships in this?
yep.
Oh. He goes, yeah, I could probably arrange something for you. I heard from Lin Bei Fong that you were wanting to set up a meeting with me.
Um. Yeah, so I could find out where Cora is.
Ah, okay, so this is that meeting. I see. Yes, I can go in tomorrow and see if I can get someone to um get you onto one of the airships that is heading over that way.
Amazing. Let's do it. Oh, but am I allowed to do something tomorrow? I thought you said I had to do
Well,
everything in the same day.
yeah, you guys are doing that freighter mission tomorrow, which is taking you to the Fire Nation Islands. So You kind of already have a ride. But actually, if you took an airship, then maybe you could get them to follow the ship from a distance.
Oh.
So maybe you can set that up as an alternative option
Alternative option for.
for you guys to find out where that ship is going,
Oh, okay,
rather
sure.
than trying to sneak on the ship, which might be difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to someone tomorrow. And where are you staying right now?
I'm staying at the Four Seasons Detective Agency. I prefer the Four
Oh,
Elements, but you know,
for
it's close to the Four Seasons.
okay. Yeah, I'll send word there then.
The other thing I want to know is I seem to be with a band of people, and we seem to have an air bender, a fire bender, a water bender, and an earth bender. Do you know any tech benders that I could find that might be able to join our group?
You mean like someone who knows about technology?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you already have Skeeter. He's actually one of those.
He's he's a tech.
He
He's a
doesn't say
bender.
that. I'm just telling you, you already know that.
I
They're
already
not
know
really a
he's.
bender. They're it's just a class basically. So someone who understands tech stuff is just a
But
class
he
assigned.
doesn't know how to cook.
He knows
Wouldn't
how
you
to
know
fix
how to
vehicles
use?
and things like that. That's what he knows. But no,
I
cooking
see.
isn't part of it.
Can I find a better tech bender than Skeeter? It seems kind of lame.
what what are you looking for that he doesn't do?
No, he doesn't seem to do anything.
You're not giving him the task to do the thing that he's good at.
Okay. Noted.
But yeah, he doesn't know anything about that anyway. That's not really his area.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else I can learn from Tenzin? Oh, no.
Not really. They're it's all airbender stuff, so not
Oh,
really your
boring.
area.
Fine.
Okay.
Um,
Although you did get a little laugh at Haku trying to go through that thing full
the
of spinning
doors.
doors and getting his butt hit. So you watch that for a
Nice.
little bit and then move on.
All right.
Okay, so you head back across the water to the city in general. It's getting pretty late. Is there anything else you want to do for this evening?
I wanted to. Okay, so I got my alcohol and herbs, right?
Yeah,
So I want
herbs.
to get that put together and put in the back room and get that going. And then I know that I'm going to catch an airship to find Cora to help with Fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Gran isn't dead, so that's awesome news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do I get a new ability? Do I have time to
Uh,
learn
one thing you didn't
something?
do is you said you had kept aside 20% of the money for buying decorations and stuff. So you could.
Well, I described how I wanted the karaoke bar to look, but I have to, or is this for something else?
Yeah, that was the remainder of the money. So if you want to give that money to, like, say, the Chens, they can look for stuff themselves. But I thought you wanted to pick it out specifically.
I already described what I had picked out, and then
Oh, you were saying you had already done that? Okay. So let's say you got whatever you could for the 20% that was left
okay.
as part of your shopping trip. And I'll just assume that you also sent Skeeter to go get the alcohol and the herbs with the truck.
Yeah.
All right, so then that is the last bit of the day for you then. So you want to go find you did you say you already had a trainer?
Tara?
Oh right, Katara. So is she like in the town or do you have to go through the spirit gate to get to the north tribe?
South? She's from the Southern Modern Tribe.
Southern.
I don't know. You tell me. You're the
Yeah, I
person
don't know how
controlling the world.
we can work because she
Why don't
she
we
lives
say she's
there.
in Republican City doing
Um,
some good deeds?
okay, let's see. Yeah, born in the southern water tribe. Yeah, okay, I'll just say that she's in town. You had trained with her before and she's in town visiting Tenson and the kids.
Hmm.
So let's just say went to Tenson's Island and she's also there, so that's where you do your training too. That makes it simpler. So let's say you
Okay.
didn't leave there, you just do some more training with her. Um, is there another technique you wanted to learn?
Yeah, but I don't have the guide open. Do you think you can
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
guide me?
Okay. Water bending techniques. Do you want like universal techniques, group techniques, or water bending specific? 282.
What is the difference?
Let me go to that page and 282. It's loading. Okay, so universal techniques are kind of just sort of combat techniques like take cover, pounce, protect, that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
then group techniques are things you can do with other people in a group. So like
Hmm.
swarm, focus fire, overwhelm, scatter and regroup, that kind of thing. And then water bending techniques are you already got the water whip, right? So
Um,
so there's things like oh, let's look at the healing ones. Healing. Is that an advanced thing? I thought I saw healing stuff before.
we did.
Hmm. Pretty sure healing stuff would be in this. Alright, let's see what we got. Breath of ice, creeping ice, crushing grip of the sea, flow as water. Ice gauntlet. Ice prison, refresh. Oh, here we go. Refresh is the one. Oh, it is a specific subclass of water bending. Mark fatigue to heal an ally in reach who is evading and observing. Clear an appropriate status from them and clear 3 fatigue or 2 conditions. That's pretty powerful. That's an advanced technique, though.
What does it do?
It just removes some of the fatigue from a person and some of their
Oh,
conditions.
when you say
So
it's advanced, it means I'm not able to use it yet.
it's like one of the rare techniques. Closely guarded secrets that masters only share with their most trusted students. Such techniques are notably more powerful than other techniques. Learning them often requires a student to build a relationship with the master, and mastering them often requires considerably more work. And then specialized bending techniques are even more rare, which is healing or lightning bending.
I can do lightning bending and I'm in water?
No, those are just
Cool.
examples from any of the bending,
Oh,
like metal bending, lightning bending, lava bending. So when you want to learn a technique, first you need to. So when you want to learn a new technique, it says first you need to learn some way to do so. Some playbooks have special ways to learn techniques, like the prodigy, but most need a teacher, someone who's already mastered the technique and is willing and capable of teaching. Player characters can't, in general, teach each other techniques, even if they've mastered them. They are still finding themselves and seeking balance, so they aren't ready to be teachers yet. They have to find teachers out in the world, be they local craft people who have mastered some specialized use of bending, or the greatest swordsman in the entire world. Remember, you can only learn techniques appropriate to your own training by default. Some
well, I am
playbooks,
learning from one of the best healers in all the world, so.
yeah. Your teacher must have mastered the technique they're teaching you. Mechanically, this means you aren't going to be taught by a student or someone who's still learning. Within the game, masters abound. If you find a teacher who knows the technique and agrees to teach you, you can use the following move. You spend time with the teacher training in a new technique. Roll with modifiers from the following questions. Is your balance in line with your center, or are you free of conditions? If yes, take a +1. Do you and your teacher at least share one background?
Yeah, we're both in the Southern Water Tribe.
No, the backgrounds are on your sheet. What is your background?
Um,
I think yours is like the law or something like that.
what? Where do I find it?
You should have picked one. There should be a bunch of check boxes on the first page under
Oh,
background.
outlaw, military, monastic, wilderness, urban, privileged.
Yeah, I think you picked military, or did you pick one?
I did not check one off.
Okay. I would probably say military, or what are the other options?
Outlaw, urban, privileged, wilderness, and monastic.
Yeah, probably not outlaw. Military sounds the most likely for you, which could apply to policing as well.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how would I know if I don't think that background aligns. But that's just for a +1 anyway. Okay, let me go back up here. Just had it. E11. Does your teacher agree with your reasons for training and learning? Technique is easy to grasp based on your current training experience and skills. No. So I'll assume she agrees with your reasons for training and learning. You want to heal and help people, right?
Yeah. I
Okay,
want to heal and
so
help people.
so I'll say that you've been training a little bit on this with her before. So you can roll. What is the roll though? Use the following move. Training, but what does it roll with? I guess you just roll and add these modifiers. So you get a +1 and a -1. So it balances out. Okay, so you want to try and finish off your training for healing. So, and it is it is an advanced one, so another -1. Okay, so roll 2d6 and a -1.
Okay. You said 2d6 and a -1?
Yeah.
What?
2d6 -1 from the roll.
Oh, got it. So I got a 6 and a 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So -1 is 8.
Okay, so you succeed, and it either takes more time than normal or you mark 2 conditions. So you, I would say marking the conditions is probably the better one for you since you are on a timeline. So you push yourself really hard to learn this, and you finally get it at the end of the evening. And Qatar is really proud of you. But you are. So you must take 2 conditions. And those are afraid, angry, guilty, insecure, or troubled. So which 2 of those make the most sense to you?
That I have to be for just this game or forever?
Well, it'll be until you can remove them.
Okay, so what were the things again?
Oh, and I'll just tell you how you remove them too, so you can know which one you want to take. So, to clear a condition of afraid, you must run from danger or difficulty. Angry, you must break something important or lash out at a friend. Guilty, make a personal sacrifice to absolve your guilt. Insecure, take a foolhardy action without talking to your companions. That's probably an easy one.
Hey.
Troubled, seek guidance from a mentor or powerful figure. If you take the troubled one, I can.
Makes sense because I mean I'm looking for a powerful figure to help me right now.
Yeah, I'll say trouble definitely makes sense. Insecure might be a little bit because you're doing something a little bit beyond your abilities. So how about those two?
Sure.
Okay, so you take those two conditions, and so just mark a check mark in there for now, and then yeah, then your instructor moves your balance by one state. So what is your what is your balance at right now? At 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so she moves you towards trust. And so now you're at the +1 under trust.
I have a.
So just move your check box over to that one.
Okay.
And now you have the heal technique, or what was it called?
And what is that? Heal.
I
I can remove fatigue from people.
Yeah, just hang on. Let me get the name of it. It is refresh.
I already have refresh.
What? How did you get that?
Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I wrote it down because it's the next one I wanted.
I think that's the one you wanted. So you have refresh at the L level. So you can put in refresh and put L check mark in the L category.
Okay.
That means you just learned it. Okay. And then so yeah, you can apply water to reinvigorate and close wounds. Do you already have it written down that mark fatigue to heal an ally in reach who is evading and observing?
I do.
Okay. Cat behind you.
She was cleaning herself for a while we were playing.
Alright, and then so yeah, you have that ability now. And what level is your water whip app? Is that also at learned?
Mm-hmm. It was, but I guess it shouldn't be now.
No, you were allowed to have one at learned and one mastered, and the mastered one is already on your sheet, printed on your sheet.
No.
On the back of your sheet, on the second page of the sheet, there should be one that's written in the technique.
I wrote in. I have breath of ice and water whip.
You have what?
Breath of ice and water whip.
Breath of ice. You wrote that in?
Yeah.
And what about the printed one? Did you just say you didn't have that one?
There's no printed ones here.
It should be the first one under techniques. It should be divert. So it says step into the way of blows intended for allies when an ally within reach. Sorry, it's on fighting techniques on the first page.
On the first page.
Yeah, sorry.
There's no fighting techniques on my first page. Where?
Oh, sorry, yeah, second page I meant. I was right before. The second page is fighting techniques, divert. And then you would have written the two other ones in on that page. Is that right?
Tag team.
What?
Work with an ally against the same foe. Choose an engaged foe and ally. Double any fatigue conditions or balance shifts. So we don't have up here a tag team.
I don't see that anywhere. That's so weird. This one is a list of techniques.
Sure, it sounds more interesting to me. Can I change it?
So basically what you should have is you should have the divert one or something else if you don't want to use that one. And then you should have, and that one.
Let's say follow to the gauge flow and alley double any fatigue conditions or balance shifts that may inflict upon that foe. Balance shifts. Double the fatigue. Yeah, I guess that means if someone's firebending against someone, I could be like double that, and then they get like more damage. Is that what that means?
Or maybe that's a move. Okay, maybe it's a move. Hang on a sec. Just gonna open the PDF in a better searchable form. Oh, I don't need to it's a move. So tag team it's called? Search. Yeah, that's a move.
It's under fighting techniques, so.
And that's actually a move under the playbook for the bold. So maybe you have the wrong second page. It should be the Guardian that you need the second page for. Because under the Guardian it says yeah, it says the move is divert. Is this an older version? This is a different description of them than I. Oh, this is a more detailed description of your character.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. This is good. It's got more information on the things they're supposed to be used for. Okay, so yeah, we should look at that later. But yours should be divert. But you don't have to take the one that's in the playbook as your mastered technique.
What's divert then?
So Divert says, step into the way of blows intended for allies. When an ally within reach suffers a blow, this exchange, you can suffer it for them. If you also use retaliate this exchange, you can deal an additional 1 fatigue each time. So taking a hit for somebody else seems like kind of an alright thing, but it doesn't really. Maybe, unless you have ways to get rid of it. So yeah, I guess you could do it and then heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It sounds not as great to have that as your mastered thing. Your water whip seemed more useful.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so you have water whip, and what was the other one?
Breathe, breath of ice.
Breath of ice. Okay, so one of those two you could have as mastered.
What does it? Can you tell me what the difference is between learned and mastered for those?
Mastered is just makes it, you don't need to roll as high to get to be able to use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like for the when you're doing the action in combat, you roll the dice to see how well you do, and then it tells you you can in this case you can use a learn technique, but only if you roll a 10 plus on the move. And it costs an extra fatigue to use, and when you use it as practice, it doesn't cost you an extra fatigue to move, but can still only be used on a 10 plus. And then when you have mastered, you can use it as easy as basic technique. You don't have to spend fatigue, and you can use it on a regular roll of success. So that's the difference. So whichever one you want to be more reliable, more and be able to use more often.
So breath of ice is shivering cold upon any foe with becomes impaired in ice, and then the water whip I lash out the tendril of water, and I can cause a fatigue. So I impair them or weaken them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe the weakening might be something I might need more of.
Okay, so mastered breath of ice, and just learned the whip one.
No, I said it makes more sense for me to be able to weaken someone than impair them. I was going to master the water whip and the breath of ice. I was going to take it that lesson.
Oh, okay. And then now you have also learned heal or refresh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can scratch out the one that says that's in the regular text. That's the wrong one anyway, so.
So I'm losing one?
Yeah, we should probably print out a new second sheet for you because that's the wrong sheet that you're using. So the other info on there will probably be wrong.
Oh, then who gave me that?
I may have accidentally printed it off.
Oh my
Actually,
god.
no, I guess this is actually common information. But yeah, that would be the history and connections are going to be the ones that might be wrong, and moment of balance too. But
What
the
am I
rest.
supposed to have?
So under history, it says what pushed you to assume responsibility for the people you care about. Whom have you protected for so long, but maybe doesn't need you anymore? Who used to be in your circle of trust before they betrayed you? What tattered garment or adornment reminds you of those you protect or failed to protect? And why are you committed to this group or purpose?
See, I don't have any of that on here. Can you print that out for me?
Sure. I'll send it off right now. Page 6. Okay, that should be printing.
It's not yet. Sometimes it takes a minute. There we go.
I can see the printer. All right. So, was there anything else you wanted to do before we wrap up?
I thought I was supposed to go talk to my auntie to
Ling
ask her.
Beifong?
Yeah, Ling.
I think she set up the the meeting with Tenson, and so you got him to get what you need for the airship booking,
Okay.
and um, yeah, I think that was all we had for that.
Okay, well then I think I can go and I can go and start labeling my jars and put the herbs and the alcohol and do all that stuff.
Okay.
So they can start fermenting and washing my new glasses or my old dusty glasses. Might be that I found.
Okay, so do you want to do? We'll do up the growth questions at the end too, and get your next XP.
Sure.
So it says, did you pursue a desire or goal of your own outside of protecting others? I would say yes to that. It seemed like that's all you were doing tonight.
Mm.
And then the regular growth questions are, where's the? Well, yeah. Oh, why doesn't it show those on your sheet? Oh, here it is. So that was a 1. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? Yeah, you learned a new airbending or waterbending technique. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
No, did not.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? No, because you were shifted 1. Oh, you did guide a companion towards balance of your animal companion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you 1 for that. Okay, so that's 3 points that you get. So that would put your total at 14 now. You spent 8, so you have 6 left. So you could actually buy another thing if you wanted another point.
Okay. What's the thing I can buy?
You can either get a new move or you can raise a stat again.
Ooh.
Or
I want
shift
to
your
move.
center actually if you wanted to push that
I want
back.
to move.
But you can always do that in gameplay too, so
I want to move.
okay, a new move. So um under your guardian ones, you can take Catch a Liar or Furrowed Brow or Martyr Complex. Or you can look through the other sheets and see if you find something that fits your character. But we
What
can,
other sheets?
like any of the other playbooks, you can pick one off of there.
Oh, so playbooks, do you mean other?
That's other character classes, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, I have no idea what those are, so
Yeah,
I
so
guess
you
I'll
can just
have to
look those up
research.
later and see if you something you like.
Sure, I'll do that in my spare time.
Or I'll look through them for you and give you a few suggestions.
That sounds great.
All right. That was actually a pretty fun session. I like that. I
Did you?
yeah, I found that really fun.
Well,
I had to make up a lot of stuff on the fly, but that I think it came out okay. You got to do some
well,
cool stuff.
I ended up getting 3 whole caches done because I was working the entire time that I needed to do, and you kept me lovely company while
Mm.
I did it because now I can really feel the fatigue. So I got lots of work done and had fun doing it.
And you got some new
So
stuff.
multitasking, and
You
I'm more
leveled up.
powerful, so
Leveled
I
up.
can kick some butt next time when my crew gets back.
Yeah, you can heal them up.
Not staying without my crew, but at least I got some stuff established so we can like get on the next tipping point
Yeah.
and hopefully open our bar.
Yeah, you got a bunch of stuff for that. That should be a
Can I
good step
open it?
towards. Hmm?
Can I just open it so when we get back, I can say, "Hey, by the way, it's open and this is happening." Yes.
Yeah, I guess
No.
so. So the following night would be the. Did you want to wait until the prohibition happens, or did you want to open it beforehand?
I wait.
Okay. So you tell the Chans then the next day they can if they can get everything ready, you want to do an opening um that night, and they'll get it ready for you.
That sounds great. Let's do it. Chance, let's get the karaoke action going.
Like they actually seem very invigorated by doing this because they were kind of doing nothing for the last month, and so they're like
Mm,
loving the fact they have something to do.
awesome.
Okay, so they also give you a list of things that they want for the kitchen for supplies for making food.
Ah,
So
okay, I'm gonna give
you have
that
a
list
little
to
10%
Skeeter.
left maybe for that.
I'm gonna give that list to Skeeter.
Okay. He goes, all right, I'm
Go,
going to buy
Skeeter.
stuff.
Go do something.
He'll do that the
Stop
next day.
taking up space. I don't even know what you're doing now. The Chans are here. They've cleaned up the place and they're like cooking and now the place doesn't look all dusty and cobwebby and what are you doing? Huh? What are you doing?
He's getting deliveries for you.
What
You
deliveries? You got
guys,
me one delivery this whole time.
he went and got the herbs and he went and got the alcohol.
Hmm,
Yep.
nice.
That's all on the same day that you had him also getting you, going out and getting you food.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for the best. Oh, Zarelia says the best stuff is made up on the fly. True, true. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. We will end a little early and do a little raid to somebody else. And
Can I just say it was really cool that I got to see Tenzin and I got to see
Iro.
Iroh and I'm going to go see Cora and I got to see Katara.
Yeah,
So I got to see more than anybody.
you got to
Just
see
saying.
all the characters because it was just you, so you got to visit all the characters.
I
Now
know.
you can brag about that. Although I guess technically Haku also saw Tenzin.
All right, let's go raid somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna raid.
Yep.
Um, let's see who is here.